Oh, you still think Battlefield 6 is good? Well, that is fantastic because the game is fantastic. Okay, as promised, guys, I am back to give you my initial impressions about Battlefield 6. Mind you guys, I have been put in roughly about 10 hours into the multiplayer portion of Battlefield. I wasn't fancying hopping into the campaign. I'm just gonna keep it real. You know me, I'm Battlefield multiplayer. That's my focus here. So I'm gonna get right to the meat and potatoes for you guys and let you know my initial impressions about Battlefield 6, what I am liking in comparison to what I am not liking. So hopefully this video serves as some value to you and kind of help you gauge as to what I'm feeling about the title and where potentially things could head with Battlefield 6 down the road. Now, if that all sounds good to you, make sure that you like this video. And also, if you care to stay up to date with anything Battlefield 6 related, consider subscribing today. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are in a new era of Battlefield. You're gonna take this one way or another. You could like what I'm saying or not like what I'm saying, but it's your boy, okay? Regardless, okay? It's your boy, okay? I'm noticing this. I don't know if you folks echo this at home. I'm noticing that a lot of players don't know how to play the fucking objective, okay? It seems as though some have lost their way, okay? There's tons of blueberries out there, and if you know what I'm talking about in the Battlefield world, blueberries, if you know, you know. I'm not going to explain it, okay? There's tons of folks out there that just simply are not playing the objective and will not help you on large-scale warfare objectives, right? Being it all-out warfare, being it breakthrough, being it the rush game mode. It kind of gets difficult to play with this new era of folks because I feel like a lot of people are getting accustomed to the Battlefield way of life. Okay, now if you're from the Battlefield era, you know to help out your fellow man when they're down, you know when to put up barriers, fix the tank, mark your enemies. You just know this shit. It just is what it is. You know this shit. You're a Battlefield vet. You should know these things, right? Now, however, playing with this new pool of players here, these newcomers that are coming to the game, I'm seeing a lot less of that, okay? And it becomes honestly infuriating sometimes because we lose matches. And again, I'm not a super try-hard or anything, but I try to get these W's with my teammates. I try to be a participating player, okay? And these guys just aren't clicking. The shit just isn't clicking with folks, you know what I mean? So that's one thing I'm noticing with this new era of gamers here, that it's just like, okay, they're new to Battlefield and it's really showing. And hopefully over time, folks adapt, or the ones that can't adapt to these game modes just wean off of them and go to other type of game modes. That's something that I'm noticing. That's neither a in particularly super bad thing because gamers honestly evolve over time and we just got to let shit play out for now. And hopefully in the future, things will get better. That's what I'm seeing. But I just have to call that out immediately, right? So on big team battle games, right, be it Conquest and things of that nature, you might find a little frustration there. Now, however, in relevance to how those game modes play, they play phenomenal to me. Okay. Now, map design isn't the best on some of these maps. I'll keep it real. It is what it is. But overall, the game feels good for what it is, and I'm enjoying the quality experience that I am having. Nothing too crazy. I had to dial back some graphic settings on my graphics card because I couldn't handle like 1440p while I was streaming. I'll keep it all the way real. I had to dial it back to 1080p, but once I got 1080p going and things locked in, everything felt buttery smooth, and I was really enjoying myself. Now, mind you, also, a caveat here is that I started playing small team objectives. All right. I kind of went from the big team battles because the teammates just were not doing their thing and kind of infuriating me. So I went to the smaller team battles and stuff, and I really had a good time there as well. However you decide to rest your head in Battlefield 6, you're going to have a good time. I'm just going to put it like that. In my opinion, for what I have been seeing so far, you're going to have a good time, but you have to have patience in some game modes in comparison to others, okay? Be it in the small team battles, you could kind of carry and do your own thing and feel like the influence and impact of what you're doing on the smaller objective game modes than the bigger ones in Conquest and things like that, because it takes a full team to make an effort for a W. You understand? And sometimes your teammates may just fall short. Now, let's talk about the gameplay here. Now, this is going to be a big subject matter. The matter of bloom. I'm seeing this come up in conversations on the internet. Shout out to my boy Big Fry. He made a great statement here that I'm going to put on the screen for you folks to quickly check out here. All right, that's his statement there. And I could not agree more. I feel as though Bloom has no place in shooters, period. Honestly, honest to God. If you could just be accurate with your weapon and tap fire and things like that, that should be viable enough. Bloom is just an excuse for poor balancing, okay? In my opinion, honest to God, I just feel like you cut corners when you do Bloom, okay? Any shooter that's like respectable doesn't go off the Bloom theory. Like, what is Bloom? Okay, like honest to God, Bloom is one of the worst things to happen to third person and first person shooters. It really, honest to God, is. And it seems as though that it is relevant here in Battlefield. I don't want to say prevalent, because not everybody's bitching and complaining. This might be a smaller group. I just might be a part of that group. But I am seeing the conversation be had. And I feel as though if we minus the Bloom, we would be at a more solid point with the overall gameplay experience. I still feel like you're having a blast regardless. Don't let what I'm saying here take anything away from the overall experience, because I feel like Battlefield 6 has hit a special stride here and they are doing their thing, right? I'm not even gonna lie. Battlefield Studios is doing their thing when it comes to the multiplayer side of things, but I feel as though the gameplay could be a little better if we adjust that Bloom shit and kind of get it tight to like a recoil pattern or something that's more tight and predictable, and that we could just learn over time instead of just doing the Bloom stuff. Okay, outside of that, the gameplay feels good. When you get kills, it feels rewarding. It's very reminiscent to the old Battlefields of yesterday. Everything feels rock solid when the game is functioning well. Now, on the back end of things, guys, I'm going to tell you what I dislike about the game as well, so that's coming soon. But overall, the gameplay is pretty rock solid. There's nothing that I inherently could say like, okay, they really fucked up here. Everything feels good for the most part. I'm not trying to bore you with like minuscule details. I could get nerdy, but we're not here for that shit. My channel's not nerd centric, but listen, it works. It feels good. And I feel like my people that I love, my audience, you guys will enjoy it. Seriously. So you're going to be bowling out regardless with Battlefield 6's gameplay. And if they just dial back the Bloom, it could be potentially even better. I'm going to keep it real. But overall, I really enjoy it. Now, folks, this might be important to you. Now, really listen to this here. Using a game controller is super viable here within Battlefield 6. Shout out to my boy Zach, or in the Team Green community known as Practical. He said, Abel, you should try out a controller. I was like, really? You think so? A controller? Like, I'm a mouse and keyboard type of guy on Battlefield. I try my thing with, you know, the mouse and keyboard. He's like, try a controller, Abel. You just might like it. So I plugged in my Elite controller, right? I plugged in the Elite, and I started to really enjoy the experience that I was having with Battlefield on controller. The aim assist is prevalent there, but it's not too heavy. It feels balanced enough. I don't know how they did it, because I feel like I could compete with mouse and keyboard and it's not doing too much. It's not doing nothing super drastic where I feel like I'm overpowering mouse and keyboard folks. I feel like it's at a good balance where if anybody with good aim could smoke me, and I feel like I could do the same damage if I catch them off guard as well. So I feel as though Battlefield Studios has balanced this just right for Battlefield 6, and it doesn't feel like, again, like it's OP. It feels like it's at a natural good state right now, just where it's at. It's not doing too much and it's not doing too little. You understand? They fine-tuned the balance here, and controller's super viable. So if you're thinking about playing on PC and you just think that you're doomed to mouse and keyboard, you don't have to play mouse and keyboard. You could pick up a controller and bowl out. Okay. And I'm telling you guys, it might be a game changer for you. I'm telling you, trust your boy on this. Trust your boy on this. Pick up controller, fine tune the settings to what you like, and you might see your game experience do a 180, okay? Because honestly, I was on mouse and keyboard. I was not faring too well. I'm going to keep it real. I was not doing too well. Plugged in that controller and everything just clicked for me. I started murking. I started feeling confident. I started pushing like how I would push in a Battlefield game. I started really feeling my confidence level just really get turned up. I really started to have a good time, and I really started to share this experience with my community and letting my peeps know like, hey, controller is viable, guys. You don't have to mouse and keyboard it all the way. I go both ways, be it mouse or keyboard or controller. I really don't have anything against the two. So with whatever I personally feel comfortable with, that's what I use. All right. There's no shame in my game. I like to have fun. You guys know me. I'm here to have fun. Okay, and I'm just here for my W's. You know what I mean? Fun is everything on my channel. And if I'm having fun, which I currently am in Battlefield 6, and I feel like you guys should enjoy your experience however you could have it, be it with a controller or mouse and keyboard. Have your fun. All right, peeps, so I have to get to the bad, okay? I have to get to the bad. Okay, I've been suffering packet loss, okay? My connectivity within Battlefield 6 has been kind of sketchy at times, okay? Now, there's a caveat to this, though. There's a however to this. I was playing Battlefield 6 90% of the time online streaming with the community, okay? Okay, I'm gonna keep it all the way real. So, with that being said, I kind of could have had some connectivity issues because I'm streaming and doing this, that, and the third. So I could have had some connectivity issues there, but I have to put it on the record because that was my experience. But I did suffer some packet loss. Now, I did turn down my graphics and things got tremendously better, right? I was gaming in 1440p before, and it's not really necessary if I'm streaming. So I was like, you know what? Let me humble myself and dial it down a bit. And I got right on there. I felt like I was playing a lot better, okay? So I was gaming at 1080p, streaming at 1080p, and everything was just flowing, and I was really having a good time then. However, just know I did have packet loss, and I don't know if you guys would have that issue as well. So basically, packet loss is just like you losing connectivity to the server and just having like a weak signal at times to the server. So it kind of makes things rubber band and things not operate, like characters not moving correctly and things like that. You'll notice it from time to time. So just take note of that. Again, that was my experience. Other people, flawless experiences. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to keep it real. But that was mine. Now, guys, I feel like the menus could have been way, way better in Battlefield 6. I feel as though like this whole Netflix type of look or Hulu, I don't know what people like to call it, but I felt like it could have been more simplistic and more clean. Now, when we get to the party systems and stuff, it reminds me of The Last of Us. Have y'all seen the font and things? Does it remind you of The Last of Us? Does the party system and the font remind you of The Last of Us? If you know about Last of Us factions, look at that font, look at the screen. It reminds me of Last of Us. I don't know if you noticed that, but let me know down in the comment section if you feel the same way. But I feel as though that we could do better with the party system, knowing who's in the party and things. I feel like that information could be displayed better. I feel like it's kind of hidden and you kind of gotta pop things out to just take a look at that shit and all that. I feel as though it could be done a lot better, okay? And also linking parties up and keeping parties together and just displaying that information crystal clear if you're still in a party together and stuff. I feel as though that could be better as well. So menu adjustments, that could be something that I feel we could benefit from, okay? Now, I put this in as a bad, but it's not really a bad. It's honestly kind of like the Battlefield way until they make it like a purchasable option, but it is the weapon grind. The weapon grind is going to be really horrific and something that they can't stand. And then you're going to have the other spectrum that's like, oh, I like this, you know, and I'm kind of in between on it, okay? Because if you don't understand how you unlock things and how weapon sets are unlocked to you, and then you can't upgrade certain weapon sets if it's like a huntsman rifle versus like a regular base rifle, like it's kind of confusing on that front, but I feel as though the grind will get some people upset. Now, I'm not saying that for me personally, I don't like it. I actually think it's okay. But I put it in the bad section because I feel as though it's going to be a topic of conversation that some people are going to bitch about. Okay. So it's not really necessarily a bad thing. It's just something that I want to note and put on record and saying that this could be a bad thing for some people in the future. Not your boy in particular, but it could be a subject of conversation in the future because some people may feel as though the grinding nature of Battlefield 6 at the current moment is something that they can't put up with. And honestly, I don't know what to say about that. It's kind of like a boo, get your ass on. You know what I mean? I don't know what to say about that, but that's something that I just wanted to note, and that's kind of like in the gray area. It's not a bad and it's not a particularly good, but it's just something that I wanted to know and put on the record. So the grind is real with weapons and attachments and things like that. I just wanted to let you guys know in advance, you're going to be working to progress your weapons, period, and gadgets as well. Keep that in mind. And honest to God, guys, outside of that, that's honestly all I have to say. Okay, Battlefield 6 has been overall a pleasure to play. I really feel very good about where this game is headed. Battlefield 6 is honestly doing phenomenal. It's actually beating my expectations out. I'm going to keep it all the way real. Battlefield 6 is actually blowing my expectations out the water. Call of Duty is looking like they are walking on thin ice this year. I never thought I would see it like this for Call of Duty, but things are materializing and just wowing me every other day as Battlefield 6 just progresses in its life cycle. This is really a big change of pace for Battlefield fans, and I'm liking it because I am definitely a fan of Battlefield. And just to see us up like this is just something remarkable and something that I personally know I will embrace. Okay, I'm not going to take this for granted. And you folks at home, my Battlefield people, my community, my audience, I know you guys feel the same way I feel and are definitely going to grab this opportunity and hug it and keep it close to your heart. So I'm very happy to see where Battlefield 6 is. And as things progress along and there's big announcements and updates to the game, I will be hosting them here on the channel. And I will be discussing everything about Battlefield 6, be it good or bad. I will give you the updates here, guys. And hopefully you have been enjoying your experience. Let me know what you think of Battlefield 6 down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big like and also consider subscribing today. And beyond that, if you did not check out my last Battlefield 6 video, be sure to click here and I'll be sure to see you there.